Hello world, another beautiful day. Yeah, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. How y'all doing? Look, the best satisfaction in video games is when you finish the game by yourself. Okay, with no cheat codes. Okay. The best satisfaction in video games is when you finish your games, okay? Video games right now are in abundance. They are in abundance. And there's no better satisfaction in video games than finishing your games, completing them by yourselves, okay? That's the best reward, okay? I mean, you can talk about sales, you can talk about exclusives, you can talk about leaks, you can talk about rumors, you can talk about what games companies are making on. What games companies are making. You can talk about what companies are doing. You can talk about sales or exclusives. But there's no better satisfaction in video games than finishing your games. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're single, if you're married, if you got kids, okay? I don't care if you're working full-time or part-time, okay? And there is no such thing as there is no such thing in video games as I don't have time. You got to make time, okay? Because if you can make time for everything else, you can make time for gaming. And there's no better satisfaction in video games than finishing your games, period, okay? You don't get no enjoyment out of video games until you complete them. Yeah, you can play competitively. You can play multiplayer. You can go to tournaments. But that doesn't that is nothing compared to sitting down in front of your television screen and completing a game by yourself and enjoying and watching the credits run to see how many people it really takes to make a game. And enjoying the rewards of that game. I mean, the quests, the journey, the challenges, the ups, the down, the times when you want to take the controller and just throw it at the screen because the boss did something that you didn't like. You know what I'm saying? There's no better satisfaction in video games, man, than completing your games. Okay, that's the best. That's the best reward, man. Okay, completing a game, it bring a sense of accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? And it have you thinking mentally, have you using your thinking ability, your smarts, your wit, your intelligence. You know, you try to figure out and problem solving skills. You know, video game teach you all that, plus even communication skills. But there's no better satisfaction in video games than completing the game. You know, you can sit in front of a camera and talk about gaming all day long, but if you're not completing those games, because video games are in abundance, if you're not completing those games, and there's no such thing I don't have time. You gotta make time, okay? And there's no such thing as casual gamers. Casual gamers don't exist. It's either you play video games or you don't. Okay? So the best satisfaction in video games is sitting there and completing them, you know? You could talk about views and you can talk about viewership and subscribers and all that, and how much money another person make if you want to. But in video games, that means nothing if you're not completing the games, you know? If you're not sitting in front of if you're using a computer monitor, if you're using a projector, or if you're using a television screen, probably whatever it's analog or digital, and then try to complete them, because there's plenty of games to play. There's plenty of games to play. But now the question comes down to now, how many of those games did you complete? Say this year. Since 2021 started, how many games did you complete? And if you're not completing your games, then you're not ascending. You're not growing. Okay. There's no better reward in video games than completing a video games. I mean, like I said, you can play in tournaments. I'm saying you can go to game shows. You can watch seminars. You can go to auctions. You can do all that. But there's no better satisfaction in video games than completing them. Okay? Whether it's racing, whether it's strategy, whether it's RTS, whether it's RPGs, whether it's action, whether it's adventure. It's all about completing your games, Whether it's puzzles, it's all about completing them. That's why me personally, I never really tripped off the Xbox Series X and PS5, because when a console usually comes out the very first year, I never get it on the first year. I usually get it around the second or the third. So because I know that there's games on the older consoles that I can finish. So I'm like, okay, why am I running out to get the newer console right now when I got games on my older console to finish? You know what I'm saying? And I don't knock anybody that goes out and get a PlayStation 5 digital or physical edition, or a person that goes out and get the Xbox Series X and Series S. I don't knock them. But now the question becomes, are you completing your games? That's what it comes down to. And me, I take it personal. If I don't complete a game, man, I am ticked. I'm really trying to complete it, especially if the game is challenging me and like pushing me to my limits, I mean, that's like challenging me, pushing me to my limits and taking me to different levels, man. I'm gonna try to complete that game. I'm gonna find a way to try to complete that game. And I'm sure everybody out there that really plays video games know what I'm talking about. There's always a game that pushes you over the edge, man. I mean, the gameplay is so good, you just gotta keep grinding through it to see it all the way through, because it was really worth it. So yeah, and it was really worth it, and the purchase was really worth it. Meaning that you buy the game, playing it was really worth it. The challenges was worth it. Everything about the games was really worth it. So there is a game that always does that. So it's all about like finishing your games. Like some games don't have big AAA release, and a lot of those games are really good, man. When you really sit down and play them, you might not have heard of it, but then when you start playing it and you start getting into it, and you're like, I need to finish this. I need to see the end game. Whenever you play the game, you should be like, I have to see the end game. I can't just play this. I can't be half-stepping on this. I got to see this through. You got to see this through. Like for me on Final Fantasy 12, I got a score to settle with that tyrant boss, man. That tyrant boss is no joke. The tyrant boss, man, when he hits you one time, that's like almost 1,800 to 2,000 hit points when he hits you on one hit. So me, I was sitting there like, okay, how do I beat this thing? And then I realized I had to I'm sitting there brainstorming on all the bosses I ran through that I battled. And the boss that I remember that gave me the clue was that it was a boss in Final Fantasy 12. It was like a rock. It was like a hill, like a mountain. But then it transformed into like a dragon or something. And then I remember me taking I had two characters like fighting him, but I had a healer that was healing the group. So I'm like, okay, how do I beat this tyrant boss? And then I realized when I went up to fight him head up, he was destroying me with like 1 or 2 hits. And I'm like, this is not working. This ain't working. I said, okay, there's got to be a way to beat this thing. So when I brainstormed and I went back and I thought of all the bosses that I fought before, and then I came up on one, but this time when I fight the tyrant boss now, I got to put the summons in front of me. I gotta put the summons in front of me, and then I gotta find some stones that I give the summons energy, and then battle the tyrant boss head up. So that's the challenge I'm facing right now, and I'm trying to see that game all the way through. And I won't rest until I complete that game by myself. You know what I'm saying? With nobody's help. So nobody's help or no cheat code. I'm trying to see Final Fantasy 12 all the way through. And that's my goal right now. So like I said, there's no better satisfaction in video game. The best satisfaction in video games, period, is when you sit there and complete the game, man. You know, I mean, yeah, they're fun to play. Yeah, they're fun to talk about. Yeah, they're fun to play with people and all that. I mean, with friends, and yes, and yeah, they're fun to be competitive, to compete against other people. You know, just to raise your game. You know, and when you play video games, but there is no better satisfaction in video games than completing them, man. Completing it. I remember I did a video about that 90-year-old man who had been playing Skyrim for 10 years, almost 10 years straight. So just imagine the joy that he has going through Skyrim, taking on every challenge, collecting everything. I think I said he got like 800,000 pounds in loot. That's a lot. So just imagine the satisfaction that he's getting, knowing that he finished Skyrim all the way through, and he probably still playing it right now. So that's how you need to be when it comes to these games, man. You got to see it all the way through. You got to finish them, because there's plenty of them. Because what is the point? Because what is the point of getting the newer console if you're not finishing the ones that are on the consoles before? What is the point? You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, you want to see the new technology, but if you're not completing the ones before, and your games are stacking up, man, that's not good. So it's best that you finish your games, man, and see them through. Whatever category of games you play, you know what I'm saying? Whatever category of game that you play, that you like specifically, you know, you got to see them through, man. You know, and even if you beat it one time, fine. If you beat it 2 times, cool. If you beat it 3 times, okay, time to move on. You know what I'm saying? So it's best, man. There's no better satisfaction right now in video games than finishing them, man. And the way the Xbox One and PS4 get games, I mean, we already know the Series X and PS5 is going to get flooded. But that Xbox One and PS4 plus the PlayStation 3 and 360, they got plenty of games on there that you know that you can play, that you can complete. So yeah, you know, and those games are challenging, man. You know, and you know, some people play games because they want to get into the story. They like the characters, they like the environments, the graphics, the action, whatever drives them. But man, the best when it comes to gaming, man, it's all about completing them. You know, and then you will feel complete as a gamer, man. You'll feel complete, because what is the point? What is the point of having, okay, for instance, what is the point of having a YouTube channel, or if you're talking about gaming on YouTube, if you're not finishing them? You know what I'm saying? Gotta finish your games, man. Gotta finish your games. I mean, these games just come out, man. Come out. I mean, whatever sports games you play, whatever sports games, if you play all through the season and complete it, you know, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever sports games you play, see it all the way through. Go through the entire season, you know. Same thing with racing games. And you know what I'm saying? It's all about finishing your games, man. It really is, man. And the way these games are, man. The way these games are. Look, the way these games are now, man. You got to finish them, man. You know what I mean? I finished Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and I'm working on Night. Okay, I'm working on Night. But man, I had fun finishing those 3, the first 3. They were really challenging and fun, man. Huh? and I didn't use no cheat codes, and no I didn't use no cheat codes or anything like that to beat the game. To beat the game, I just played it all the way through. You know, try to figure things out. You know, because Batman: Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins had puzzles that I had to figure it out. You know, and I had to keep playing the game and seeing it all the way through. But it was really, really worth it, man. And I had fun with it. But now I'm working all night. But me, I'm sitting there dragging my feet all night because I'm sitting there swinging from city to city or flying all over the place, doing crazy stunts. But anyway, I will finish it though. That's for real. I will try to finish it before Arkham Knight, not Arkham Knight, but Gotham Knights come out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's no better satisfaction in video games, man, than finishing them. And then with the Batman games, the Arkham update, the update that they gave to Arkham Asylum and City, I wish Origins would have got the same update too. It needs it. You know, even the updates of the Arkham series was nice. And I'm still going back to play those games again, even though I beat them, you know, because they're just so fun to play. But other than that, man, it really is about finishing your games, man. I mean, you can talk about, you can do what you can talk about gaming, play with friends and all that, man, but there's no better satisfaction when you sit in front of that screen and finish the game yourself. You know? Finish it, you know, and try to find time and make time and just make sure you see it through, man. You know? So it's fun, man. It's rewarding, man. You know, so, and anybody who try to say, oh, trying to make fun of you playing video games, tell them to grow up. Other than that, man, yeah, man, finish your games, man. Finish your games. You know, finish your games, man. You know, Xbox One, PS4 got plenty of games you can finish. So does Xbox 360, PlayStation 3. They got plenty of games on there you can finish. You know, finish your games, you know, and enjoy them. Laugh. Get angry. It's all a part of gaming, man. Anyway, nice talking to you people. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Or Dark Side. I'm gone. Peace. Oh.